Okay, let's just start. So we're making this video because we want to honour our little baby jelly bean, and I don't even know how to like say the word still.
I can't.
So unfortunately, me and Nathan have suffered a miscarriage. We were 8.5 weeks pregnant, or I was 8.5 weeks pregnant, and unfortunately that's how it's ended for us, in a miscarriage. Probably 4 days ago I was in two minds of whether I wanted to speak about it. Before I posted it on Instagram, I was sort of like, had an overwhelming feeling of just like, I'm scared that people are going to look at me different. I'm scared for people to show sympathy to me and me get upset. Like, sounds kind of stupid really when you say it like that, but I was just scared of what people would think, and it's just a very vulnerable thing to go through, isn't it? But I did make the decision that one of the main things that helped me in the following like week was looking for other people that have spoken about it, and every single day I've watched either somebody new tell their story, or I've watched the same video like 5 times just for, honestly, comfort. Like, the amount of like heartbreaking comfort it's provided me to know that other people have gone through it in different ways, in the same way. Just, yeah, it's probably why we're filming this, and it'll be the most vulnerable that we've probably ever been on our channel. And yeah, where we're starting is the happiest I've probably ever felt in my life, I would say. So we decided, I'm sure one of the main questions will be, were we trying for this baby? And yes, we were.
Yep.
We made the decision. We've been together for
coming up 10 years.
Coming up 10 years, yeah. And we've spoken about kids and imagined kids within our lives probably at some point every day within those 10 years. Like, it's something we spoke about straight away when we got together. Like, we've just been so excited to be parents, but we made the decision to wait until we felt the time was right for both of us, mentally, physically, or as right as it can be, kind of thing. We decided in July or June or July.
June-ish, but like properly July.
Like the end of June, July, that we were gonna not necessarily actively try for a baby, as in fully like tracking ovulation and everything like that, but we also weren't not trying, weren't using any contraception, and we said, if it happens, it happens. But I suppose when you start trying, we had in our minds, like, Google says, people say like 12 months, within the first 12 months couples get pregnant. So we were like, okay, great, like, even if it takes us 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, like...
Well, we were saying before, and when we were either going to be that couple, because just the way our lives work, is that we'll be either fall pregnant within like after a year of trying, or it'll be like straight away. And it was straight away. After 1 month of trying, we found out. So basically, I was late on my period, which past me would have been very normal, but for the past maybe like, I don't know, like a year possibly, my periods have been very regular. I know when I'm coming on, I track them, and I know what's happening with my body, kind of thing. So we, on like the second day I was late, it was like, maybe I'm just late, wasn't it? It was like, there's no way. Because you had like symptoms of your period, didn't you?
I did. I had cramping, I had bloating, probably just all the main, my boobs were sore. Like, I had the main symptoms of a period that I usually get, which are also the main, or can be the main symptoms of early pregnancy. So there's always that fine line of, you just really never know, do you?
Don't know until you take it.
And how some people say like, oh, I just knew. I wouldn't say that I got that feeling of like, no, 100%, I know I am. I just kind of had a gut feeling of like, something's not like how it usually is. Like I was saying to you, wasn't I, by the time like it got to the 4th day, so we didn't test until the 5th day that I was late on my period, which is probably crazy to some people. It was painful. I don't know why we did it that way. It just kind of worked out that we wanted, because I sort of knew in my mind, I said to you, didn't I, like, if I'm not pregnant, something else is wrong with me, like, but then you also kind of don't want to get your hopes up too high in case you're disappointed. So we were in that kind of limbo, yeah, of like,
just give it another day, you might come on, because we honestly didn't know if it was going to be. Yeah. I mean, I knew.
We knew, but there was like, there's no way I'm 5 days late and it's not that. But we wanted to take the test together. It's something we've always said. Like, I love how some women like surprise their partners, but we always wanted to do it together. We wanted to see that test, turn it over and see it together. So we kind of had to wait for a time that was, you hadn't been at work all day, like we just wanted it to be a little bit special, didn't we? Yeah. So we took the test on the 7th of August. We'd actually been out all day with Nathan's brother because it was his birthday. And we did it on maybe like 4 o'clock-ish on the night. Yeah. God, I'm so nervous. I'm really hot. So it's the 7th of August 2024 and we're about to do the first pregnancy test to see if you're in my tummy. I'm 5 days late and we only started trying to bring you into our little family last month. We know our love was meant to make a beautiful baby and hopefully in the future some siblings for you. If you have chose us and decided now is the time, we're ready and we can't wait for this beautiful journey of calling you ours. Right, we need to make sure we do it all right. I mean, not that you can really go wrong.
I wish to replace the cap and lay the test. Lay the test stick flat.
Are we really ready to do this? Are we really ready to know?
I'm ready.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, do I need a wee enough? I don't know. I've tried drinking loads of water. Should we say a prayer to whoever listens? Yeah. When my hairy armpit might be in it.
Crushing new glasses.
What if this is it? What if this is actually it?
How? Right, let's put it together. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna start crying if we breathe like that. Right, how are we gonna do this?
Just flip it.
Oh, what if it says no?
It's alright. No,
I feel like
if it says no, it's fine.
I know.
If it's no,
right, we need
it's
to
fine.
do it together.
Okay.
How do you want to do it?
Turn
right,
it?
You hold that end.
Yeah.
Right.
Towards you or towards me?
Towards you.
Towards me.
Shit.
Ready?
Sorry, I wasn't meant to swear.
Ready?
I don't know.
Ready?
I think. Okay.
Ready? Towards me?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I knew it. I knew I was. Let me see it, let me see it. Let me see it. I knew it. I literally knew it.
I love you so much.
I'm taking a piss.
Sorry. Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep looking at it. Oh my god, that doesn't even feel real.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I literally knew it.
Oh my god.
I knew it. I knew I had a feeling. They decided they were ready. Already? We've kept them waiting so long for our whole nearly 10 years that we've been together, and they've decided first time that they're ready. Oh my actual god. Now what? Now what? So that was us finding out, and at first when I thought about like sharing these like really precious moments, I felt kind of a bit strange about it, because I sort of felt like, well, it's not happening anymore, so is it a bit strange to sort of share that? But no matter what, this will always be part of our story, and I just want to share it.
Yeah, because for that moment,
it was everything to us, wasn't it? It really was. We went and stood in the garden, didn't we? Afterwards, and we were just like, we were boiling for one. Air. We were just like, we need some air. Like, we just stood in the garden, just looking at each other, like, this is it, didn't we? And then everything was fine. Like, my symptoms were cramping. I had cramping. I think I had implantation bleeding, which is very normal. My main symptoms were I napped every single day. I was so tired, so exhausted. Like, I've never known anything like that. I'm just not a napper. And I was having to get in bed every single day for like even just without 20 minutes
every day.
Yeah. My boobs were huge, weren't they? Absolutely massive, and like nobody and nothing could touch them. I couldn't even touch them. Like, when I was showering, I was finding it so like cringe-worthy and uncomfortable to have to wash my boobs because they were just so sore, and like, oh, like even my clothes, like, no, not good at all. And then my bloating was on another level. My belly, I probably looked like 6 months pregnant before I was even like, we took some little pictures before anybody knew, just messing around, like when we were out and about, and Nathan had like touched my belly, wouldn't you? And I actually looked like pregnant before you're supposed to look like you are, because my bloating was just on another level. But I'd say that was my main symptoms. I had a couple of aversions. Like, I went off my morning cup of tea, which was
crazy, wasn't it?
An experience. Yeah, the thought of making it, the thought of drinking it on a morning mainly, I just could not even, I just couldn't. But I didn't have any morning sickness. I had nighttime nausea, which is why I called it. Yeah. I had sickness on a night. It got to a certain point and I was like, I am going to be sick. Everything's spinning. We went to the cinema for my mum's birthday and I thought I was going to have to leave because...
Nobody knew at that point.
Nobody knew, just me and Nathan. I thought I was going to have to leave. I just felt so sick, but...
No, your mum knew.
Did she?
Yeah, it was on her birthday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, your mum knew.
Well, that kind of moves on to telling people. So we decided to tell my family. We planned out some really nice ways to tell them. We told my mum on her birthday, and then everybody else sort of within like a week. It was kind of hard to like make sure we were getting people at certain times because of the way we wanted to tell people.
We wanted to tell them like individually, didn't we?
Yeah, we will include, which might be hard to watch. It'll definitely be very hard for me to edit, but it's just nice. It is nice. Experience, wasn't it? Yeah, it is nice memories, and it is our experience of our first baby still, regardless of whether they made it earthside or not. So yeah, let's include telling our family. Yeah. Oh, I'm scared.
This is crazy that we're doing this.
So tomorrow is the day that we tell the first person. It won't be just us anymore that know.
We'll be out of this bubble of just like
us two being secretive. I mean, we've still got to be secretive for the next
6 weeks.
6 to 7 weeks. But tomorrow is the day we tell my mum, which it doesn't seem real. Doesn't seem like it's actually happening.
No.
So for each person we've decided, we've probably said this before, like we've got into this video, that we're showing everybody in a different way. Like we've got some quite creative, like cute ways to show people, don't we?
Cool, yeah.
So my mum's is one of the first. So do you want to show them this, Bev? So we have a mini bag.
And to go with it. This little mini baby girl.
Oh, stop it.
See you in April, Grandma. Look how small it is.
It's so cute. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to get makeup on it.
Is she really going to be that small? Or he? We don't know if it's a boy or girl.
She or he.
Yeah, imagine that. Just in one hand.
Nathan keeps saying he and then he'll switch to she.
My first thought in my mind whenever we talk about him or her, it's always goes to a he.
Mine is she, but then sometimes if I think about it, I'm like, I'm definitely going to be a boy man, but then I'm like, I have to be a girl man.
See you in April.
Oh my god. So then on the top of it, we've got some tissue shred, just some nice little white tissue paper, and tomorrow is my mum's birthday, and the way we've gone about it to keep it as like much as a surprise,
like,
because I feel like it's hard to tell people without them knowing straight up, like, you're either going to tell me you're pregnant, you're getting married, like something's coming right now. So I've said to her that can she come here in the morning, because we're seeing her tomorrow evening, giving her all the presents, doing cake and going to the cinema together, but like the whole family will be there. So I've said to her, we've got you a present. No, I think I said I've got you a present, and I don't want to give you it in front of everybody, like I can't be bothered with questions, whatever. I just want to give you it in private. Like, can you come round in the morning just before we go and do the food shop, and I'll give you it then.
And I honestly don't think your mum would.
I don't think she'd think, I don't think I'd think anything of that.
No.
But then you just never know, do you? But yeah, and she's coming round in the morning, tomorrow morning. Oh my god.
Fold it up like a little square so she doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
It just looks like a napkin.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, put it in, babe, and then we'll just shove all of this.
She has to dig for it.
This shred on the top. Just like this.
Right, you cannot tell what that is.
Okay, I'm ready for the morning. We're about to tell the first person, which is my mum. And we're both absolutely so nervous. We're so excited, but we're so nervous. I feel sick.
I think it's more excitement than nervous though.
So she's on her way now, and she thinks she's just coming to get a present. I think she thinks it's a spa trip, and she has no idea because she's coming out of the shower with wet hair, and she was like, I'll just dry my hair when I get home. So she has no idea. So we're going to keep you guys hidden on there, put the screen down, and hopefully she's going to sit over there. Let me check if she's
here.
No.
God. Yeah, she's going to sit on that chair. And I'm going to stand like with her.
And I'm going to sit on the floor. So she's going to come in and we're just going to say, just over there if you want to sit down. First person, babe. First person's going to know.
I love you.
Love you.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, mother.
Thank you.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. A year older, but you know.
Oh, it is what it is.
What can you do?
You don't look a year older.
You smell
50.
nice.
Oh, do you like it?
It smells delicious.
I wanted it for ages.
Would you like to sit here and presents right there? What is it?
It's the
It does
Soldier,
smell nice,
you know the
Is it really?
Soldier Janeiro.
The yellow? Oh, the cream?
I've got it all. Melly, I think.
That's the one I want. Smells so nice.
Is that the ones we've seen at the airport? And the yellow
That
Jamaican.
So that's one, and that's it. So I've got like a mixture, I think.
What's this?
I'm excited.
Why? Why didn't you want me to open it then?
Questions about what?
Questions about what? What about questions?
You kidding? You know. Oh my god. Oh, congratulations. Oh my goodness, mate. Do you know what?
Did you know?
No.
No.
But then I was thinking.
Do you have any feeling though?
No. Because I watched your vlog last night. Yeah. Rudy vlog where I called halfway through and I was like, I watched a bit and then I thought,
yeah, I shouldn't be watching
this. And I only got the first couple of questions and I thought, no, I shouldn't be watching this.
To be fair though, anything like that we'd talk to you about anyway.
Oh my god. Jesus God. Congratulations. When did you find out?
Wednesday.
Oh my, how have you kept it in?
So when I got in the car on Sunday and you were like,
God.
anything new? I was like, nope.
It doesn't seem real.
I know.
Does it to you? Do you feel okay?
Yeah.
So how many weeks are you? Or don't you know?
If you go how they do it, where they go off your last period.
Have you done the one where it tells you on
That said 2 to 3.
Right.
But if you go from your period, it's 6. How the midwife will class it as.
I'm in shock. Like, I'm so pleased for you both, but I'm in shock. Like,
I knew you would be. When we're trying to say, I was like,
because I just thought,
was like, do you think she'll cry? I was like, I don't think so. I think you'll go.
I'm like in shock. I'm like so.
I didn't. That was mine.
I think I'm just in shock.
It's time for the next people to find out.
Next set.
So we're not doing it in any order. It's just how either the things have come or how it's worked out that we're seeing them on that day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So next up is Kayla, my sister, and Jake, which I'm not too nervous about.
I'm not too. I was more nervous with your mum, but I don't know why.
I don't know why. We said we feel like once we get into this one, then the nerves are going to kick in. Yeah. But I feel like they're going to be really happy for us, obviously. I also think they're going to be pretty shocked. I think everyone's going to be shocked because,
so, yeah.
Like my mum said, we haven't technically told anybody we're trying because we weren't trying for long enough to tell anybody that we were trying.
Yeah.
So
I think people's reactions, like, in a sense of, like, what, you're joking, but also, like, I kind of seen it coming.
Yeah.
Type of thing, because
we've been together for 10 years. Yeah. It's what we want, so yeah. Okay, so for Kayla and Jake, we are doing, basically we seen on Etsy these Uno cards that say like we're having a baby, etc. But they were from America and they were like $50 or something, and we couldn't actually get them shipped over here. So we figured we'd do a DIY. So we have the normal Uno cards. They're coming round for what they think is a movie night, which we're still gonna watch a movie.
Yeah.
Obviously once we've told them.
Yeah, imagine, right, we're having a baby. Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye, get out. No, we're still gonna have a nice movie night. But that's what they think they're coming round for because we've got the week off work, and yeah, nothing sus to them. That isn't.
Hopefully not. We don't know.
I know
they might be thinking something.
We'll ask everybody. Like, did you know? Like, we asked my mum, did you know? And she said no. So yeah. So the cards we're gonna do a normal round, aren't we? Like deal all the cards out.
Yeah.
Then me and Nathan are gonna have these cards that we've made, which are just. Oh man, is yours upside down? Mine's upside down.
Mine's sideways anyway.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to keep mine like that. Or should I swap it round so I don't get confused?
No,
I'm gonna
whichever way you hold an Uno card up, it's got a 2 there anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you can hold it upside down because it doesn't really matter.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, they won't know, will they?
No.
That's true. So, yeah, this is our cards. Mine says, hi, auntie and uncle.
Mine says, we're having a baby.
We're having a baby. So we're gonna sneakily already have them on us. And then once Nathan deals the normal cards out to everybody, we're somehow going to be like, so pretend we've got our cards in our hands.
Okay.
So give us like 8 cards. Yeah.
Obviously look at your cards and don't obviously because you're going to see where I'm putting it from, but.
So as soon as everybody looks at the cards.
Yeah.
Are we going to get it? No, you're going to have to like take
I'm not putting it in my pocket because that's silly.
No, you're going to have to take the full deck from like. With you to get it.
No, you can't because it looks too obvious. Just put it in your back trousers.
No, it'll fall down.
It won't.
I will. I'm not losing it down my back trousers. We're gonna have it from when they come in, all the way until when we sit down, set the game up. Like it won't last. It'll be down my leg. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out. But anyway, the card. This will be our hand, and then
we're gonna give like a key word.
Yeah.
Which we haven't figured out what it is yet.
It was going to be, Nathan was going to say
something like, oh, I love Uno. And then that's going to be our thing of being like 1, 2,
Why
3.
didn't you say like, I'm going to win or something like that? I'm going to win, he's going to lose. Why don't you say that?
What's that? I'm going to win?
Yeah, and when you say I'm going to win, bam, down our cards
Boom.
go. And then we also have for them as like a little keepsake. Because obviously my mum got the baby grower, we're trying to do everybody a little keepsake. Is this little card, how does auntie and uncle sound? And then we've wrote a little message inside. I'm not too nervous as of yet, I just really hope it goes right.
Yeah, it will. Hi, just a quick update.
I knew this was going to happen.
We did say this earlier, so Kayla and Jake were meant to be coming round for a film night, obviously, which is what we just said. But Jake's, like...
Half his family are on holiday.
Yeah, and he's had to be at work, so his phone's going off, like the work phone's going off every 5 minutes. So, unfortunately...
He's not coming.
Jake won't be coming and Jake won't be finding out, like, right now.
Yeah.
But...
When we said right...
We've said at the beginning, through whenever this is happening, because we've got plans to tell different people in different ways.
Yeah.
And it might work out that somebody doesn't find out at the time that they're meant to, but they'll find out anywhere.
Like we said, we have a feeling when we tell my other sister Charl and Matty, her fiance, that Matty will end up coming without Charl, or Charl will end up coming without Matty, even if we ask them both to come. It'll be like, oh, Matty ended up like he's having to do this, or I'm having to do, or I don't feel like, I don't know, we just feel like whoever shows up, we're going to do the plan how we're going to do the plan.
Yeah, because it'd be a shame that if we just like didn't do it tonight and we had to wait for everybody to be involved.
Because then if we waited for another time that they could both come and that we were both here on a night for a movie night, it might be weeks, so it's just,
So it's just going to be Kayla that's coming around to,
which is fine. I did think it would happen, you know, and even in the first instance I thought she might say, oh, Jake can't come anyway. So it's only because we thought he was coming and then he's not. But it's fine. I'm sure she'll be able to. She might FaceTime him, or she'll tell him how she wants to tell him.
I can move it here. Anywhere I want.
In the camera, it looks like Love Island.
What?
Looks like, you know, where Love Island comes up on the side. Well, that doesn't.
Oh, my ears popped.
7.
Keep drinking.
Okay.
You got to do this. You've got to do it.
Remember what you said.
You're going to kill me.
You're going to kill me.
And what are the black cards?
So the black card, if it's a +4 with the colours on it, then you either use it as a lie card to make the person who tries to challenge you
this is where I
pick up 4, or you do what I just do and lay it when you can't lay either a 7 or a yellow.
Instead of picking up if you've got a card that you can, like a special card.
Yeah, because the whole
if you try and lay and we say you can't lay that one, then
confusing the life out of me.
Okay.
Alright. 2, 3. What, do I play or not?
No.
No.
Unfortunately.
Didn't you pick up 2?
Okay, I'll pick up 2.
I'm kind of confused then.
Well, I think I'm going to win this.
No, I'm going to win.
No, are you?
I'm going to win.
It'd be embarrassing if I win, wouldn't it? Shut up, no, shut up. Oh my god, shut up.
Obviously we wanted Jake to be here, but we didn't want to like, we didn't want to not do it, and we didn't want to make it like obvious that.
Oh my god, shut up. Can I FaceTime him?
Yeah, of course. We thought
he's got the work phone, so I can ring him on his phone if his work phone rings. You joking? Shut up! Are you joking with me? I can't. I actually have not believed it currently.
We didn't either. We didn't know
How far
it
are you if you only found out Wednesday? Like,
found out on Wednesday, but because they take it from your last period and 6 weeks. 6 weeks and 2 days.
It's very early.
So it'll come up as 3 to 4.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
'Cause, yeah, 2 to 3.
He's gonna go for an early scan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got my first appointment.
7 or
First
8.
midlife appointment.
When you were saying about when you were saying about Centre Parks, I was like, you lot will be on the rapids and I'll be sat at the bottom waiting for yous.
Yeah, just a quick one. I really, really, really wish you came, as do we all.
Hello.
Hi.
We were just playing Uno there. I'll see if I can prop you up. Can I prop you up on the table?
Yeah.
We were just playing Uno there, and these are the cards that they just put down.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Fantastic!
Look.
Great news! Congratulations, you too. I'm well made up and chuffed.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We 6.
How long?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6
So
weeks.
not very long yet.
Due April.
Show them your new top.
Of course she does. Okay, we're on to telling the next people, which is who? Mummy and Daddy. They're coming round soon, and what we're going to show them?
my top.
Your new top. Show everybody your new top.
Show everybody your new top.
It looks so cool. Right, ready? Can we see?
See what it says?
It says, my auntie and uncle are going to be a mummy and daddy, and I'm going to be a big cousin, and I'm going to be a big cousin, and you two get to be auntie and uncle. That's what your top says, doesn't it, Ebsy?
Yeah.
Is it so cute?
What does that mean? What does it mean that your auntie and uncle... I'm not touching it. Your auntie and uncle, Auntie Elle and Uncle Nin, are gonna be...
A mummy and daddy. So that means that Auntie Elle's got a baby in her tummy right now. Is that so cool?
Let me have a look.
You can have a look.
You can feel...
It's inside.
I want to have a look.
You can't see anything.
There's a baby
There's
inside.
a baby in there though, a little tiny baby this big. And he's going to grow and grow and grow and grow.
And he's going to be your best friend.
And he's going to be, it could be a she.
Could be a little
The little baby is going to be your cousin.
Yeah.
She's like, guys.
Are you excited?
I don't care. I'm the center of attention. I always will be. So I'm the first grandchild. I'm the first everything.
Okay, I'll play with my stones. Are you going to teach them how to jump?
Yeah.
Are you going to play stones with them?
Yeah.
Are you going to build forts with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We built a big fort today. It's boiling. Yeah, so my sister and brother-in-law will be on their way around, won't they, babe, in about 15 minutes. I said text when we've messaged saying that Nathan's putting a shelving unit up for all his Lego and he needs more hands. Like, is there any chance they can come round? Emily's here for a tea, so it's nothing sus, hopefully. And he said, yeah, we're just having our tea and then we'll pop round. Yeah, I'm nervous.
I'm excited though.
I'm really excited.
After this, we've only got 2 more people.
2 more people? Well, a few more people. My brother, Nathan's brother, and...
Nathan's mother.
Your mum, yeah.
And your granddad.
And my granddad, yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Surprise! He has a new top on.
Go see what it says.
Yes. No way.
You're not.
I told you.
Yay! That's what I literally just said.
What? What then?
I'm really shocked. I told you they love your top, MC. Didn't I tell you? I told you they love your top. God. It's 9:30 and my pregnant self, it's well past my bedtime. I was ready to go to bed. But I've been trying to catch my brother because he's honestly like a night owl and he works during the day and he's just like never home. So we've been trying to wait for him to be home so that we can go around and just say that I've got something to give him. And my mum's just messaged to say that he's in now, so we're gonna run around quickly. It's pitch black outside. But yeah, we'll try and set the camera up. Hopefully he won't. I mean, he's gonna know what's going on when I'm around at this time of night, when I never go to my mum's at this time.
I bet your mum's like, oh Tom, Danielle's
Tell me you're staying in, because Danielle and Nathan are quite... I don't know why they're coming.
Oh, you didn't have to. Never.
It wasn't my stupid idea, it's all Nathan's idea. How cool is that?
Oh my god.
How cool is that? Have a look.
Oh my god. That's it.
How lovely is that? How cool is that? What does it say?
That was the best news.
Did you know? Only just now.
I don't have a clue what that is.
How cool is that? Isn't it cute?
I'm so happy for you, honestly.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh my god.
Uncle Tom again.
Isn't it cute?
Oh, I've got
In shock, I was shocked.
I'm in shock.
I was like,
Mum literally sat there and went,
just stared for inches.
I was like shocked. Look,
she's like, I was like, any
so
smart.
we've done it all like separately. So
I've told her.
like everyone's been told in a different way. So
It's time to tell another person.
Next person's time.
This one's really cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we got this. on Amazon. It's a little wine or like bottle bag, and it says always read the fine print. We're having a baby. This one is for my granddad. So we got him a bottle of Pinot to go in it.
Grigio.
Pinot Grigio. Look at this. And we've told him that we bought him something on the food shop, which isn't too sus because I've bought him like food things on the food shop
like
before.
Lasagnas, bologneses.
Yeah, if I see something I think he'll like, we've done it before, so it's not too sus. So yeah, that's what he thinks, but he's gonna get this. And my granddad's so funny, I reckon he's just gonna go like...
No, I think he's gonna do this.
Yeah, like...
I think he's gonna do this. Sorry. Pass me.
I got you this.
Oh, what's this?
You gotta read the front.
Oh, always read the fine print.
That's what I think he's gonna do.
Oh.
What's inside might be nice, but...
Isn't that good? You read the small print.
No, I didn't. Okay, now we're gonna move on to probably the hardest bit to talk about. We should probably put like a little warning here. I mean, I know if you've clicked on this video, you will know what you've kind of clicked on for, but this is quite raw and traumatic, and yeah, to
just be hard to hear.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to talk about, but like we said, the reason we're doing this is for the reasons we stated, and I think it is important for us to talk about. So we had an appointment with our first midwife appointment booked for the 2nd of September.
Yeah,
the 2nd of September, and we had booked a private scan for the 3rd of September, and that was
7 p.m.
Yeah, it was going to be on the night, and that was going to be the first time that we were seeing our little baby. We were going to hear the heartbeat and everything like that. So that was supposed to be on the Tuesday, the Monday and Tuesday, them 2 appointments. I woke up on the Thursday, absolutely fine, the Thursday before, which was the 29th. The 29th.
Yeah, Thursday the 29th.
Thursday the 29th, I woke up, same as how I've felt for the whole pregnancy, like nothing was any different. I work on a Thursday night, and Nathan does a full shift on a Thursday, starts at 1 o'clock, so he'd gone to work and I was doing the washing up, and I got just like a really mild cramping as I was washing up, and I honestly thought I needed the toilet. I thought I just need to go to the toilet, and I was like, I'll just keep doing the rest of this washing up, and there was literally like 1 plate left, and I was like, oh no, that's uncomfortable, like I need to go to the toilet. I went to the toilet, and for the whole of pregnancy I checked the tissue. I think even before, I don't think it was a pregnancy thing, I think that's just like a common thing, like when I wipe I look at the tissue and then I put it in the toilet. I don't know if a lot of people do that, if a lot of people don't, or what it is, but I just always have a look and then put it in, not for any reason, probably just out of habit really. But especially in pregnancy, I looked every time I wiped just to check everything was like as it should be, and when I wiped this time there was blood on the tissue, and I'm not gonna lie, I went into full-on panic. I think I was having a panic attack, and I started talking to a baby that couldn't hear me because it was the only person with me at the time, and I was saying, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay, everything's gonna be fine, everything is fine. And I messaged Nathan, and I didn't want to worry him because I'd obviously started googling immediately, probably wrongly so, because that is a whole, but I was googling and it said that it was normal, it happens to a lot of people, like a lot of people get bleeding, especially in the week that I was in, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm just worrying over nothing. And I messaged Nathan, didn't want to panic him, and I think I just put, can you talk or something? And I'm sure she won't mind me saying, but I also messaged my sister because she has been through a miscarriage too. So I just messaged her and said, which is another reason why I'm so glad we told my family when we did. I messaged her and just said, I've just wiped, and I'd sent her the picture of it because we're open like that. I sent her the picture and I said, this is what's on the tissue, like, I'm panicking. Did you have anything like this? Or like, yeah. And I went back and forward messaging with her, and she was saying like, it could be nothing, like it does happen like that, but we should probably go and get you checked just in case. And I was like, oh, it's probably like nothing. The cramping had gone by this point. And yeah, I spoke to Nathan. I honestly can't remember our conversation. You rang me about 10 minutes after. And I think I'd already spoke to my sister by that point.
Yeah,
and
I wanted to go straight down.
Yeah,
to Nathan, get seen,
you wanted to go straight away.
But you said you'd spoken to Charlotte and it looked normal-ish.
Yeah, and I said, let's just see how it goes.
Because
like,
I think you'd been to the toilet after that.
And there was no blood.
And there was nothing.
Yeah, I'd probably like 2 hours since, there was nothing. 3 hours, nothing. I was going to the toilet, probably more like I was drinking more water just so I could go to the toilet and check, see if there was any more blood, and there wasn't. There was no more cramping, no more blood. And I was like, okay, right. I said, if there was any more or I didn't feel okay, we were gonna go, but I felt like okay-ish. So I got ready for work. It was on the way to work that the cramping started getting worse. It was still, I would say, quite mild cramping, but it was getting just more uncomfortable. I was like,
no, let's not forget you've got a very high pain threshold as well, so it's like your mild could be
that's true. Painful. Nathan was like, no, ring work, you're not going. I was like, I can't, it's too late, like I haven't got enough time to tell him I'm not coming. Like, I'm a people pleaser, so I just didn't want to let anybody down. And I was like, no, I've got him ready, like I'm okay, I'm going. And the closer we got, the more I was panicking, the worse the cramps were getting. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of hard to explain, I've never felt anything like it, I felt like I left my body. I went like dizzy, my legs didn't feel like they were my legs anymore, and it was only for like a split second. And I was like, and Nathan was like, no, and he turned the car straight around and we went straight to yeah, well, actually we came back home here because I needed the toilet so bad, and Nathan rang
111.
111, yeah. And they went through a few questions, asked to speak to me. Like, I asked Nathan, I said, I was so overwhelmed, I couldn't focus on anything else. And yeah, I just said to Nathan, like, you ring them, you speak to them. And they did end up speaking to me, asking me just questions.
What's your pain level?
Pain level, yeah, things like that. And then they told us that we need to go into the emergency room. So that's what we did. At this point, I honestly didn't think, I thought things were going to be okay, if I'm being completely honest.
Because at this point there was still no more blood.
There was no more blood. I just felt the cramping, and I just didn't feel right.
Because you'd had cramping throughout.
Yeah, that was
the whole pregnancy. So it was like, is this cramping just like a little bit more like worse in a sense, but still not like excruciating pain wise?
Yeah, and it wasn't excruciating pain, it was just a mild, like a
niggle. Like
when you're on your period and you have mild cramping on your period, that's just what it felt like. So we seen a doctor, which, not gonna lie, wasn't very helpful, sort of insensitive. Didn't do a pregnancy test, didn't do a blood test, didn't test for anything, just asked me what had happened, and I told him exactly how I've just told you guys. And he laid me on the bed, pushed on my lower belly twice, and it was like a little bit tender, and I like sort of like moved, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then we sat back down and he just said it could be a threatened miscarriage, but you can just go home. So I was like, right, okay. Second we left, I was googling a threatened miscarriage, and more articles than not said it can be okay after a threatened miscarriage. It's usually you can have a little bleed and then you go on to have a healthy pregnancy. And I was like, oh, okay. The cramping had lessened, and I was like, oh, that's obviously just what it was then. And it wasn't until later on the night, and it was all through Thursday night into Friday. I was up in the night probably every 20 minutes with fresh blood, a lot of blood. I thought the first time I wiped on that Thursday afternoon that was a lot of blood, because it just, you don't want to see any blood in pregnancy, do you? So I thought that was a lot until
the night came.
Friday early morning, all through the night, I was like, oh, okay, that's a lot of blood. Every time I wiped there was fresh blood and clotting on the tissue. So as soon as we woke up in the morning, like, I didn't bother Nathan all through the night, because again, the more we were like progressing, the more I was losing the hope. But I still had hope that, because of what we'd already been told, that it was a threatened miscarriage, I was like, oh, I don't know, you still have that tiny bit of like,
you don't
it
want
could
it to
be
happening, do you?
Yeah, I definitely knew that it wasn't right, and there was a lot of blood and clotting. So as soon as we woke up, was I crying or was I like blank? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you were fully there.
And you were like, right, we're going straight back. We're not like messing around, we're going straight back. We had, so I don't remember how long we waited at first to see that first male doctor, who was incredible. He was so nice, he made me feel so relaxed compared to the day before. He asked if I'd had a pregnancy test the day before, if anybody had tested my urine, and I said no, and he was shocked that I'd had no confirmation except for my word that I was pregnant. Like, we'd obviously had no midwife appointment yet, so yes. After we'd seen him,
we got there about 8:30, didn't we?
About 8:30 in the morning.
And then we didn't see him till about 11:10.
After we'd seen him, we were in the room. I was bleeding on the chair. I was getting embarrassed. I can't remember why I even stood up in the first place off the chair, and I seen that there was blood on the chair that had obviously just leaked through. And I was like, oh my god, get some tissue and wipe it up. And the cramping was getting progressively worse at this point, as was the bleeding. And he said that the gynecologists were in
surgery or something.
Yeah, in surgery, and he's really sorry, but I would have to go back and sit in the general emergency room waiting area. So that's what we did. Obviously there's a range of people there. There's people who are there for, like, I don't know, sickness. There's people that have broke their leg. There's just such a variety of people there, isn't there? And the feeling of sitting there knowing that you could be losing your baby and nobody's doing anything to help you was like awful, wasn't it? Like, Nathan was so fidgety. He kept getting up and saying like, I'm gonna go and ask them, I'm gonna go and see I'm gonna go and speak to. I was like, honestly, there's no point. Like, they'll come when they come. Like, if they're in surgery, they can't rush the surgery just because somebody's having a miscarriage, and there's nothing they can actually do to stop it anyway. So we were in that waiting room for what felt like a lifetime, and I think it was around 5 hours maybe from when we got there to when we actually went up.
We saw the gynecologist, yeah. We got the blood pressure. Sorry, I've got like literally everything written down. So I went to see a gynecologist who were in surgery, got blood pressure taken and heart rate scan at 2 o'clock. So from 8:30 till 2 o'clock is when we got a blood pressure before going up to the ward to see the gynaecologist at 3:30. So 7 hours total we waited to see the gynaecologist.
And all in that time I had no painkillers, and that was, I thought at the time, the roughest part of the pain. I was like bent over, I had my eyes closed, I could feel like people looking at me because I was in a lot of pain. I was making not like loud noises, but I kept every like so often involuntary making noises because I was in so much pain. And
it's mad to think, because in that A&E there was people that had like outwardly noticeable things wrong with them.
Yeah.
So it was like people that were looking like didn't know what we were going through.
No.
It was just, well, you.
Yeah.
Like the pain that you, but the pain that the physical
the
pain that you were in,
nobody
like,
knew what.
You didn't have a broken foot. It wasn't your arm in pain. Like you were just bent over, and it was like.
And like I could feel people looking at me, but honestly, it was out of my control how I was like outwardly being. Eventually they came and we got taken up to a ward. We were just sat in a bed. There was 4 other people there was 4 beds in the ward. A really lovely nurse came round and done like a temperature check and blood pressure, didn't she? Eventually we went into a room, and these 2 doctors were, I don't know, that from walking in that room feels like, honestly that's the thing that's like haunted me the most, that room and them 2 doctors and that whole part of it. Worse than the scan, I think, honestly. So yeah, we went in the room. They told Nathan to sit on a chair that wasn't even anywhere near me.
It was behind a curtain, like a
screen.
Like a screen.
That wasn't like a see-through plastic screen. It was like blocked off. I sat on a chair initially and they were asking me questions. I could barely even like hear what they were saying. Like, 1, because they were talking quiet, and 2, because I couldn't like, I was in that much pain. I honestly couldn't like, as if my brain wasn't working. And the whole time, like, you think you know what's happening, you think you're losing your baby, but you also still have that tiny slither of hope that it's something else. So they told me that they were going to do an internal check to see whether the neck of my cervix was open or closed. If it was open, that usually, I think this is how they put it to me, that usually would indicate that you are having or going to have a miscarriage. And if it's closed, it's kind of 50-50. It's not to say you're not going to, but it's also not happening, so it could be something else. The bleeding could be something else. So that's what they told me they were going to do. They asked me to take off my leggings and my knickers and sit on the bed. I had a giant pad on at this point that I'd asked one of the nurses for, because I didn't go with the pad on because I just honestly wasn't thinking like, and I didn't realise how bad the bleeding would get, so I had this giant like nappy sized pad on. It was kind of funny really, wasn't it, the size of it? It did make us smile, one of the only times we smiled through that day. So they asked me to lay on the bed. I laid flat on the bed, and you know when you've got like uncomfortable period cramping, you don't want to be laid flat because it sort of makes it worse. I laid flat and I just wanted them to hurry up because I was like, I don't even know how long I'm going to be able to lay like this for. And then they were on the phone, or were they on the phone? And I was laid for what felt like, I don't honestly know how long it was, maybe like 10 minutes, a bit less. Like, and I ended up sitting up and I was like, they just kept saying, sorry Danielle, like, we'll be with you soon, sorry. And I was like, oh my god, I actually can't lay down any longer. Eventually they came over, they showed me, if you've had a smear test, or I'm not sure what the correct term to call it is, a cervical screening, they used the same plastic thing that they use on that.
Speculum. Yeah,
the speculum, that's it. They put that in me, and then honestly it's such a blur to me I think they said that the neck was open at that point.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, they whispered it to each other.
Yeah.
Not whisper, but like you could hear them.
Yeah. Talking to each other. I'm not sure if one of them was a training. It seemed like she was training because the other doctor was telling her what to put on the notes. So then I can't even describe like the pain after that. They had some kind of like, I don't even know what it was. I know they had a clamp, like looked kind of like tongs, and then like I don't even know what
like
it was.
Spoon, like not a spoon, but like a...
Something. And then they just said, we're gonna take some of the clotting, and I was like, I was just laid there, I was so dazed, and I could feel inside me them like scraping stuff, or like I could just feel that something or somebody was inside me, and that was probably the worst pain ever. I was turning over on the bed asking them if they were nearly done, and one of the doctors just was lightly putting a hand on me saying, I think she was just saying sorry. While the other doctor was doing what she was doing. And then at one point I can't remember, do you remember? I think from what I remember I said, please stop.
You said, is it nearly over? And then I think she's the one that was doing whatever was happening to you said to the other one like, oh, there's still more, but you said like, I can't, like it's too painful. So then the other one who was stood next to you said, like, stop.
Yeah, I remember saying that, just going, no, stop to her, just stop. And then as that opened, there was a lot of blood on the bed, and she just looked at me, the doctor, and just said, put your bottoms on. So I did, and then went and sat on the seat, and then again she said, it's a threatened miscarriage. Asked me presumed that I'd had my bloods taken, which I hadn't, which they were shocked at, I would say. And it's only like upon reflection of that part of the day that when I've googled, it sounds like to me, now I don't know, I am going to request my medical report because you only get a summary when you leave, so I'm going to request it. It sounds like they done a D&C without my knowledge, or without me knowing, or...
Because it's supposed to be a procedure that happens after miscarriage or after giving birth.
Yeah.
It's to remove any excess tissue or anything inside your cervix or around your cervix or something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cause infection or build up of anything like that. But you're supposed to have a written consent form, and I think you're supposed to be put under.
I think it says online you can be, like, you get that option, and bearing in mind I didn't even have some paracetamol in my system at this point, so I don't know, I don't like to presume until I do have the medical report, and somebody who's trained in gynecology or does that for a job might say that's normal, like they can do that, sometimes they have to do that, whatever. All I know is that I'd not even had my bloods done, a pregnancy test, a scan or anything before I had people inside me moving stuff around and taking things out, which just doesn't seem right. Yes, they still in the chair, they said they don't think they could get me a scan until Monday, and obviously it was Friday, and a scan would confirm the miscarriage. And then they said because of my cramping and bleeding, they'd like to admit me and keep me in the hospital, which again, it says online if you've had a D&C you will be admitted for a few hours, which again just seems to kind of add up that that's what they did without me knowing. But I keep telling myself, like, surely not, surely not. Went back to the ward,
and we got asked by another doctor, have you got your bloods done?
Yeah. Still hadn't had even any blood work done at this point, which is just
fucking crazy.
Just doesn't seem right. It's not right. We already know now that it's not right. But then the same doctor from that room, one of them doctors, came and said they've managed to get me a scan for 20 minutes.
20 past 4.
Yeah. Can Nathan take me on a wheelchair down to the ultrasound? So that's what we did. You took me on the little chair, didn't you?
Going backwards through the corridors.
It's one of them things that people have talked about before, like when you're going through something like this, you see other people coming out with their like happy news, like they've just found out the gender, or they're like, you can see by the belly that they're quite far along and they look so happy. And I could see them people whilst I'm sat there with my head in my hands, knowing I'm about to go in a room and be told that our baby is not there. Thankfully we didn't have to wait long, did we?
No.
We went in the room, in the ultrasound room, and I laid on the bed, and she said, what did she say? I was like somewhat composed at this point.
Yeah.
And I still had...
It was like this was like the kind of final hurdle
type
of thing.
It was.
Really confirming.
Of like, you still had the tiniest slither of them saying, oh no, there is a heartbeat or whatever. So she asked me if I wanted the screen on or off, and I just completely like broke down. Like, I put my elbows like over my face and I just cried. And I felt so bad because the poor woman, midwife, was trying to talk to me, and I just couldn't, like, I couldn't hear what she was saying. I didn't want to do what we were doing. Like, I knew that in the headspace that we were in, there was still that bit of hope, and as soon as she puts that on me, that's going to be taken away. Yeah, I tried to compose myself and apologised to her, didn't I? I was like, I'm so sorry, like I felt so rude. I had my arms over my head, like over my face, nobody could even see me. And there was another woman in the room, wasn't there? And she said, I tell you what, let's not put the screen on, because in my mind I was like, why on earth would I want to see that there's nothing there? That's all I thought in that moment. Like, you're going to turn the screen on and show me that you're supposed to see a tiny little...
This is where it would be.
Yeah, and it's not. And I was like... But I understand, like, from other people's stories and listening to them, that they found comfort in being spoken through it and seeing, like, that everything was okay. That I think they show you that your uterus looks okay, your womb looks okay, like your over... I don't know what exactly, but I just couldn't even think about seeing that. So she tried to do the put the gel on my belly. The gel on my belly?
Jelly?
The gel.
Jelly?
The gel.
The gel.
The gel on my belly. And she said, oh, did nobody tell you that you're supposed to come with a full bladder? But because I'd just had that other procedure done like half an hour before, I'd went to the toilet when we got in that room. It wasn't that I felt like I needed a wee, I just knew that the blood was like pooling and it felt like my bladder was gonna burst. I was like, I can't have somebody put something in me, because I thought I would like wee on the bed. So I went to the toilet, and obviously when we went down for the scan, I don't think that they were aware that I'd just had...
What had gone on.
Yeah, what had gone on in that room. I don't think they were aware. And I don't know why I didn't say anything. I was just totally like dazed out, because my bladder wasn't full enough. She couldn't see enough, so she had to do the internal vaginal scan, I think it's called, or whatever the term is for it, which was fine. Like, wasn't painful or anything, couldn't really feel it, it was just cold. Yeah, she said that it was gone, that she couldn't see anything anymore. I don't really remember after she said the words. Did she say it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything after that. Do you? Were they talking to you? I went behind a curtain. They said if you want to go behind the curtain and put your clothes back on, like your bottoms, and there's pads behind there for the bleeding, and there's wipes if you want to clean yourself up. So I went behind this little curtain still in the room. What did they say to you?
She just asked me if I was okay.
As soon as I'd got my clothes on, I opened the curtain, and the other woman was already opening the door for you to like leave.
It's just so like nonchalant. It's like,
and I said,
okay,
for them, like, it's part of their job. Like, they'll have people in and out of like one person saying like, I'm sorry you've miscarried, the next person like, oh amazing you're 8 months pregnant, the next person, oh it's a girl, the next person, sorry you've lost it. Like, it's just the job to them. Like, I'm so sorry, my sister said, I know, but I'm sound so like, my sister said to me like they've sort of in a way got to disconnect from it, because how on earth would they do that job otherwise? So I get it from that point of view, but when you're the people going through it, you kind of just feel like, I don't know, I don't know how I felt, to be honest. So then, because we'd already been admitted at that point, I think usually after that people would go home, because there's not really anything else anybody can help you with, like it's happening, they can't stop it. But because we'd been admitted, and I still hadn't had any blood work done at this point, which is crazy, we went back up to the ward and we were just sat on the bed, and when I'd came out of the ultrasound room, I felt like the whole hospital was just like, I felt like there was nobody there. And we sat on a chair that was like just outside the room, and I just cried. And then we went back up to the ward, we went in the lift, and there was a little boy in the lift with, I think, was it his granddad or something, and even like just a child like talking and laughing was making me like like cry more. And I was just stood in this lift. I probably looked awful. I thought people are probably looking at me like, and I mean nobody is, like you're in a hospital, like people are going through a lot. But yeah, we got back up to the ward. The doctor that had done the cervix check on me came back round, and I obviously had like, I wasn't like hysterically crying, but you could see I'd been crying, and I had like tears, like silent tears. And she sort of said a comment that has stuck with us, didn't she? She said, she just sort of looked and said, oh, well, you're not expecting that, as if to say like, why are you so upset? You must have knew.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I was like, I'd be a bit daft to think there was that much bleeding and cramping and it wasn't going to go the way that it went. Like, of course deep down I knew, but having somebody tell you that your baby's gone is different to thinking that it could be, sort of thing. So hearing the confirmation is like nothing I've ever known. So we just kind of thought that was a bit insensitive. And then she said to us, it's fine, you're young and you can have more babies, which again, it's hard because, yeah, hopefully that is correct, hopefully that is right one day for us, but to hear that from
when you're going through
that is just like, I don't know, just, I'm not sure whether she just needs more training or it's just how she was as a person, or she thought she was being helpful or whatever. But
she was asking how your pain was.
Yeah.
And then she
I had painkillers at that point? Had they given me painkillers?
Yeah, the nurse came and gave you, I don't know, I think it was a codeine. And you got given codeine and paracetamol.
Yeah.
That was the first. You didn't get that until like 5:30.
Yeah, by this point it's like 5:30 on the night.
Because I think you would after that woman said those comments, she said obviously keep an eye on for a couple more hours to stay in, and just check on the bleeding.
I think she said, I get confused with what she said. I'm not sure if she said there was still more left in me, whether it was...
Yeah, that's not very clear, because she said something about 7.5 millimeters of something.
Yeah.
Whether that was...
We were just like oblivious at this point, weren't we?
I think it meant the wall of your uterus.
Yeah.
It was either 7.5 millimeters thick, or there was 7.5 like left to come out.
Yeah.
Like naturally, because then she asked, which I think is was a normal question to say, do you want to wait here for a couple more hours to pass it naturally, or take a tablet which gets it all out like all in one go quicker,
but causes like severe cramping.
Yeah. So we just chose to...
Had we had the bloods done by this point?
Yeah, we got the bloods done after we came.
Didn't we get the bloods done like an hour before I went home though?
Yeah, it wasn't far off that, yeah.
I'd obviously been going to the toilet on the ward in like, what were they called? I kept calling them deadpans. Didn't I? But they were called bedpans, like a little cardboard thing that goes on the toilet seat that you wee in so that they can test your, test whatever comes out of you kind of thing. And I'd obviously been asked if... Had I been asked at this point if I'd passed the sack? Or was that on Monday? No,
you didn't.
They asked me, didn't they? Have I actually seen it? Have I seen it?
Yeah, somewhat. I can't remember when you got asked that.
I don't know when I got asked that.
Because there was a few times when we'd been to the toilet.
Yeah.
And we'd seen things in the bedpan, but we didn't know what we were looking for at that point, really.
All we seen was
in every time you went. There
was a lot of clots. There was like a couple of times, like I would say the size of like...
There's one that always sticks in my head when... Yeah. But you don't know if that was...
I don't know
it. Oh no.
When it did. There was a few times that there was quite big in the toilet itself, and when I wiped there was like clots that were whatever the clotting is. But I can say that I didn't knowingly, like how I know some people have had to actually see it and then flush the toilet, which just like seems so inhumane, doesn't it? I can say that I didn't actually like knowingly have to do that. It's just every time I went to the toilet it was a lot. When I was going to the toilet, it wasn't like, because I'd been to the toilet so many times and there was so much blood, like every time I was going, Nathan was with me every time, which I'll never like appreciate you more than I have through this. Like, you came with me every time to the toilet and seen that. Like, it's one thing for a woman to have to see it, but for you to have to see it and just be so like calm and help me and get the tissue for me and just, yeah.
I think from like a sorry, I can't speak.
I
can't speak and like
through tears.
Yeah.
You can.
Like from my perspective as like the male, like going through it, I think what goes through our head is that we just want to take some of it.
It's what you kept saying to me, didn't you? Like, Nathan just kept saying, I wish I could take the pain away for you. Like, I wish if I could take it all from you and put it all on me, I would. And like, you truly meant that, and I know you did.
Because there's nothing that like we can do.
Yeah. You did everything you could have done though, babe, honestly. Like, I couldn't have done it without you. Like, God, this is so hard.
Oh God. Doing well, babe.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Just as like a side note, I think I'm a bit naive, rightly or wrongly so, in like throughout this whole situation that we dealt with.
Yeah.
Because my thought process is like, I kind of don't think the worst until I get told the worst is happening.
Yeah, that's a good way to be.
Throughout the whole thing, it was just kind of like trying to keep it together so that I wasn't affecting you, in a sense, because you had enough to go through. And it was just kind of like, that was my way of dealing with it until we got to the ultrasound, until it was confirmed. Yeah. That was when it was like, ah.
We were sat in the hospital bed on the top floor, near enough the top floor. We had quite a nice view, to be fair, wasn't it? It was a lovely view of like our local, not our local area, but like the place where we live.
Yeah. A lot of solar panels everywhere.
Yeah, we were just like looking at the solar panels on people's houses. I was like, I didn't realise how many people had solar panels, and like, you distract yourself for a second.
It's mad how your brain works.
It is.
With trying to block out what's happening.
The inevitable, yeah.
And you just talk, we were literally sat there just talking about absolute garbage.
Rubbish, yeah. And then they eventually came around and obviously asked if I was happy to go home, like how was the pain, how was the bleeding. The bleeding at that point was no different. It had been the same, like heaviness all day.
I'm just gonna get some tissue.
Okay. We left the hospital.
This was after the 12 hours, by the way.
Yeah. From start what to time was it? Like 7:30ish?
No, it was 8:30.
8:30.
8:30, 9:45.
I do not remember the walk out of the hospital to the car.
I do.
Whatsoever.
That was Sorry.
Are you apologising?
Because I can't speak. Because I think I said to you the day after or sometime, but like when you're pregnant and you think of a hospital.
Yeah.
As you're leaving.
Yeah.
You've got something.
Yeah. We did say that, didn't we? Like, we went in still pregnant, or supposedly still pregnant, and we left with just us two. So yeah, we went home. The bleeding for me didn't stop until 5 days, I think. 4 or 5 days. And then it was just like there was nothing anymore. I was going to the toilet and there was no blood anymore. And I know for some people it can last like a week or 2 weeks, and like that's just awful, but it did only last the 4 or 5 days for me. The cramping, I would say, lasted longer than I thought it would. Like, I naively thought that like once you've passed it, like, why am I still like in so much pain? Like, I just honestly wanted the pain to stop. That's what I said. Was it like this 2 days or 3 days after, I think, my sister had came round, because she kept checking on us all the time, bless her, and I was just sat on the sofa crying. And I'm not somebody who, like, not purposely, like, I just don't cry in front of people. I wouldn't say like I struggle to show my emotions. My emotions just don't come out in front of people. Like, they come out in my own time or in front of Nathan. Like, they just don't always come out in front of people. And I didn't want to upset other people. Like, I didn't want to upset my family. Like, obviously for them, they've all lost somebody too. I just couldn't stop crying. I said to her, I was like, I just want the pain to stop. Like, why is it still hurting so bad? I would say the cramping probably stopped. Like, each day I woke up, it was lessened. My body just sort of felt like bruised and achy, like my whole body. And like each day it was just less and less and less. The 6th day, or the 5th or the 6th day, I would say I woke up and I didn't notice the cramping. I didn't wake up and think like, oh, I wasn't in much pain anymore. and as thankful as I was, it was sort of like the bleeding stopped, the cramping stopped, like it's fully gone. We just spent the week together, didn't we? Just being with each other, just talking. If you're going through this as a couple, honestly the most important thing to do is to talk to each other. Like, I was struggling at some points because I didn't want to openly say things because I didn't want to upset you. Like, if you seemed, you obviously weren't, and you probably think the same, like when the other person seems like they're distracted and they're not thinking about it, if you are thinking about it and you need to say something, you sort of think like, God, I'm gonna bring it back to the front of your mind, and I'm gonna upset you, and you're distracted for even the like half an hour that you've doing whatever or thinking about something different. But it's so important to just speak everything, all of your thoughts, as silly or as like whatever you think they are. And if you're going through it not as a couple, on your own, just talk about it to whoever you feel comfortable talking to it with. And if you don't have anybody, you've got us. Like, message either of us, comment if you don't mind other people seeing. Like, there's just absolutely no way anybody should go through this on their own. It's truly the worst thing we've ever been through. And you sort of feel like, because we were 8.5 weeks, we had been buying clothes, we were planning on decorating the nursery, we'd planned our announcement, we'd obviously told family. You just sort of imagine this life. Like, before you get pregnant, you imagine it.
Yeah.
But when the second you find out you are pregnant, I don't know if you feel the same, especially because I was growing the baby, I went into like mum mode. I was like, I am a mum, I need to do everything I can to be like the best. And we obviously started planning stuff like I just said, and yeah, you sort of feel like, because you didn't know the baby or you didn't see them. For us, I know it's different for some people, but for us, we didn't hear the heartbeat, we didn't see them on a screen, we didn't know if they were a boy or a girl, we didn't know anything about them except that they were ours. And you sort of feel like, how am I feeling so much grief? Like, do you know
for
what?
Someone you didn't know.
Yeah.
And
before,
spoke to them every day.
I know, Nathan did speak to them every day.
I know they can't hear it that.
They can't hear, obviously.
Early, but every morning without fail.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, every day I was looking for other people that were speaking about it, because I was like, I've never felt so heartbroken in my whole life, and I don't understand what I'm feeling. I think until you go through it, if you are going through it, for one, I'm so sorry, and two, if you are going through it, you will understand this feeling. And before I went through it, I would say I was naive to, we've had people close to us go through it, and you can sympathise, can't you?
Yeah.
And if you're somebody who empathises, you can empathise and just think, God, I can't imagine, like, that must be awful, like, God, you were pregnant and now you're not. That's so sad. As small as they were, you have lost a baby, and yeah, I would say you can sympathise, but when it's you, it's a whole nother level. Now
how it just consumes you.
Yeah.
And just
everybody I know now that's gone through it, I just feel like so much for them. It has been nearly 2 weeks, which I can't believe. The 30th of August, we gained an angel baby, and they'll just forever be a part of our story and our life, and I never want to forget them. If people ask, like, do you have kids? I'll say, yeah, I did. And we said, like, hopefully one day it will happen for us, and when we get pregnant again, that'll be our second baby. It's just sort of crazy how, like, life goes on. It's happened, and it's the hardest thing you've ever gone through, or one of, and you've just sort of got to go back to your life and be around people and just laugh and just live, don't you? And it's always like, obviously it's still quite raw for us, but I've spoken, a lot of you have been like beyond kind on Instagram and on here and TikTok, from the short that we posted, sharing your story or sending love our way. And like, I did put it on my story, I said, like, we feel every ounce of that love that each person sent, and I'm sure our little baby does as well. Like, wherever they are, they will feel all of that love. And it's definitely helped me seeing, like, I think because we, obviously this was our first pregnancy, it's like we still have that hope that, and rightly so, that everybody should have, like, if you want to be parents, you will be parents. It's however it happens, it's gonna happen for you, because you just deserve that. And we didn't deserve this, but it happened, and together we've got to find a way out and forward.
We will.
Something that I've found comfort in is seeing other people that have openly spoken and shared their personal miscarriage story or pregnancy loss story, and you look now and they've got a family, and it's just like, to have that hope is everything.
So a takeaway from it is, like, one of our biggest fears was the fact that we didn't know if we could get pregnant or even anything like that. So the fact that we can, at least that's kind of a, we can get pregnant.
And you obviously never know usually why a miscarriage happens. I'm sure if you've been through it, the doctors and the nurses and everybody tells you that usually it's because it's not a viable pregnancy, there's something wrong with the baby, they weren't going to make it to full term. There's a number of, like, generic reasons that it can be, and so many women blame themselves, which it's just not your fault. Like, the amount of people that have said that to me, and luckily, like, I feel like I did as much as I could. Like, I feel like I was a good place for a baby to grow, and yeah, I tried my best and it just didn't happen. So
you did everything you could.
We've just changed the battery over and tried to, like, compose ourselves. I knew this would be really hard, but I honestly didn't think I would, like, I thought I'd be able to keep it together more than I have, to just kind of get the words out.
It's the most vulnerable you've ever been.
Yeah, we just sort of said as we were changing the battery there, sorry, it sort of feels like a therapy, like, just saying everything from start to finish.
We've spoken about it, and we've spoken, like, how we feel.
A lot.
But like doing this, we're kind of back in that mind space a bit through that time. And
yeah, and whereas like every day since, it's in your mind for most of the day, you're not, it's like what's in your mind is the fact that you've lost your baby rather than reliving how you lost it. I really hope that if you clicked on this video because you're going through this, I hope it's like, I hope you found some kind of comfort in hearing our story, knowing you're not alone, knowing it's not your fault, knowing that every single emotion and feeling that you're having about your pregnancy loss is completely valid. Like, we've already heard of some people that have been slightly insensitive towards it, and I guess in a way, like, if you've not been through it, you can't relate, so you might think it's easy to move along, or you just can't possibly understand the feelings unless you've been through it or you're in it. So yeah, every feeling that you have is completely valid, and like I said, videos have helped me, talking has helped me. There's something that one of my sister's friends sent me that from Miley in class. I know she's got a documentary on it, I think, which I think I am going to watch when I feel a bit more like, I don't know, like, just, I am going to watch that. She was on a podcast and she basically said that, right, I don't want to mess this up, when you get pregnant, the baby sends is it the DNA from the baby sends things to parts of your body that needs extra help or work, or like isn't like at its optimum yet, kind of thing, like your organs or like certain different things. The DNA from the baby goes to them places when you get pregnant to make sure that you're at like the best you can be, sort of thing, for the pregnancy. And when you lose that pregnancy and you lose the baby and the baby leaves you, the DNA from that baby that went to them places gets left behind, so they're sort of always with you, which when I watched it, like burst into tears, and you did as well, didn't you? Because it's just like, just a really comforting thing that you can take from such an awful thing to go through. Another thing that I put next to me to show you is this. I seen this on TikTok, and the name obviously kind of drew me in, first of all, because that's sort of what stuck with us, because at 8.5 weeks our baby was the size of a jelly bean. So yeah, the name My Little Jelly Bean just stuck. It's by Brandolyn Sander. She is somebody who has gone through a miscarriage, and she wrote poetry within the first year of going through it. It's called a poem collection on pregnancy loss, and the back of it is just blank, and it says, I miss a face I've never seen, I miss a laugh I've never heard, I miss a baby I've never held. And there's just a lot of poems in here that validate your feelings, because like I said, you feel alone, you feel like sometimes your feelings aren't valid. I sat the other day and like highlighted some of my favourite ones. I've posted a couple of them on TikTok, and yeah, I just think if you are struggling, this is definitely worth having. I'm sure there's a lot of other books and media on pregnancy loss, especially early pregnancy loss, so any anything that you can leave below, like, we'll be beyond grateful. Anybody that feels comfortable or feels like they want to share their story, like, I know I've had a lot of people messaging me on Instagram sharing theirs with me, which is just, I'm just so grateful for. This has just been very raw, probably hard to watch and hard for us to go through, but people have said to us, like, look after each other, the love that you have for each other will get you through, and it will, thankfully. Like, I'm so grateful for you, babe, like, you've been incredible, and I honestly couldn't have done it without you. And as sad as it is, I'm glad that I've had you to go through this with, because you couldn't have done more for me, you couldn't have looked after me more. Yeah, I just sort of can't believe still, we've said it a few times to each other, that you never think that it's going to be you. Like, yes, the statistic is 1 in 4, which is,
it's mad, absolutely
crazy, but you truly never think that it would happen to you. Like, it's just, what's that, like, incomprehensible.
It's a big word.
I know, it was a big word, wasn't it? Some parts of the day I'm sad, some parts of the day I smile, we laugh. Some parts of the day I'm angry that for any future pregnancies, like, the innocence of pregnancy has forever been taken away from us and has been tainted. And people say, of course, which is 100% true, and I find comfort in, that every pregnancy is different. No two pregnancies are the same. Just because you've had a miscarriage doesn't mean that you're more prone to having miscarriages. This doesn't affect your next pregnancy, which is a comfort. It's also so fucking scary to even think about that, but yeah, that's where we're at. 2 weeks on for us, and the 30th of August 2024 will always be
with us.
Yeah, it's something that year on year will be an anniversary of our angel baby, our little tiny little jelly bean. It's something that we'll honour every year and never forget. And as much as life moves on, it'll always be with us. I'm so sorry if you've gone through this, and every bit of strength that I can possibly give you, I'm giving you, because you can get through it. You're strong enough. We're proud of you. And yeah, I love you, babe. We will get back to our usual vlogs, our silly little realistic vlogs, as soon as we can. The video after this one is pre-filmed before all of this happened. It's an evening routine that I think we're still going to upload because I like it. I like the video. It's very chilled. It's very us. I'll obviously put a message on the screen to say that it was pre-filmed, but yeah, then after that we'll get back to vlogging as soon as we can. And thank you all for just being the best, and every single message that we've received we appreciate. And sorry, my phone keeps going off. It's more lovely people. More lovely people sending messages. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I'll just keep going. Anything, babe? No? No? We'll see you soon.